Oh, there we go. Folks, how are you? I am wicked sick. How about that? I am wicked sick. Not very much sleep either. So bear with me. Bear with me. I did want to reach out to you guys today though, because I've just maybe it's because I'm sick. Uh lots of things swirling around in this nugget of mine. And one of the things that's really jumped to the top of my list, and that's through some customer interactions this week and through looking at a couple of other videos online that are getting good play right now. So, for instance, if you're in the web space and you're hearing things about Lovable and Replit and Claude and OpenClaw and all these things, if you're an agency, I just want to encourage you: don't panic. Don't panic. I talk to I talk to an inordinate amount of people, right? I have the multiple podcasts every week. I'm active with the chamber. I go to the entrepreneur events. I do these types of things. And I just recently got assigned a new project by Lifter LMS where I'm going to be making a video about how to use Lifter LMS with Etch, the new page builder. So Etch is wonderful, by the way. I really like Etch. I still have a lot to learn, but I really like Etch. Now, on one hand, I am considered an expert. And so they come to me and they say, "Can you make us a video about how to use our plugin with this new page builder?" Yeah, absolutely. Like I'd love to be the expert on call for that. Okay, that's great. On the other hand, we have people like Alex Hermosi that was just making a video, like a presentation video. It's on YouTube. Just hit, and he's talking about ways to grow your business and scale your business and all these things. And of course, he's been pushing school like crazy, right? So that's a SaaS platform. And then, they talk a little bit about AI there. And what I see happening is, just for example, Alex Hermosi, out of his own mouth, said, "Well, people can build a website, they can use a page builder, they can, build it with whatever. But hey, let's face facts. Building websites is simple." So that is a dangerous statement. When someone says anybody can build a website, websites are simple. Can you can you get a hosting account with GoDaddy, use the GoDaddy builder and have a website up? Yeah, you could. Could you grow a business on that website if you didn't know what you were doing? Could you add copy that converted if you didn't know what you were doing? Would you be able to figure out how to gather and build an email list with that property? Um, when people say, "Oh, you could do that because it's easy," that's like saying I could rebuild the engine in my truck because I saw a dude on YouTube do it. This used to happen to me quite a bit in the power sports area. I want to talk to you a little bit about this. I used to be the technical trainer for Ducati North America. I used to teach other technicians how to build motors for Ducati motorcycles. In the training class, we had training motors. We would take them apart, we'd put them back together. We'd take them apart, we'd put them back together. The idea was to show all the technicians the order in which an engine is reassembled. What didn't really get covered in that class was, what exact clearances should I have, between my first ring and my second ring on my pistons? What would be the end, what they call the end ring gap, or the ring end gap, right? What would be that? What torque should I have, on my connecting rod bolts? We discussed it in class, but what's common in Ducati is people will replace their connecting rod bolts with different connecting rod bolts, titanium or an upgrade or something like that. And so the question is, where do the details come from? The details come from experience. The details come from time in the saddle. The details come from a mechanical familiarity. The last few clients that we've had at Mañana No Mas have not even been web building clients. They've been people that are building their own websites and got stuck and needed help, needed guidance, wanted some tutoring. And so they've hired Mañana No Mas to jump on Zoom calls with them live and walk them through some processes or features that they were unaware of how they worked or how they operated. Like they knew there was a feature, but they couldn't quite figure out how to make it work right. And so they scheduled a call. They pay the agency rate. We get on, we show it to them, we coach them, we record the call for them, and they get the content. It's theirs. Okay. That speaks to what my core message is about today. We have one body that's saying building websites is easy, the Alex Hormozy types, right? And why not? Because he's selling SaaS platforms anyway, right? So we have people saying, oh, building websites is easy, anybody can do it. In that camp, you have a lot of people saying, oh, you can just leverage AI. You can just vibe code something. You can make your own apps. You don't even need WordPress. Just make your own website. We just lost a customer to a lovable website. They were on WordPress, and the person they work with for some marketing reasons said, oh, hey, I think we should redo your website. Let's just do it in lovable. So they did a lovable. Newsflash, I'm not upset. I saw the website. Looks great. Website looks great. Okay. Is it optimized for SEO? Is it optimized for conversion? Is he sampling different levels of, copy and doing A/B testing? And I don't know. I don't have a clue. It's none of my business. Because like Alex Hormozy says, building websites is simple. Anybody can do it. So there is that camp, okay? But there's another camp that I deal with all the time, and these are people that want nothing to do with building a website. It's on two different levels too. Let's say I'm talking to a plumber, or I'm talking to a landscape artist, or I'm talking to a hairdresser. They want to focus on what they do. New scissors, new clippers, new techniques, new greetings, ways to make people comfortable in your salon. They want to focus on those things. Do they want to focus on how to run a website? No, they do not. They do not. So in our startup and small business category, we've got people that, even if they knew about AI, have no interest whatsoever in leveraging AI to do anything. We have another group in that same category. They're enterprise level clients. So this is, I'm spreading over the gap, right? So we've got startups and small businesses, and then we've got enterprise level clients. They've got budget, they've got department heads. Do they want to have an internal IT team build and manage their learning website? No, they don't. No, they don't. They might have thought they did 15 years ago. They might have thought they did 24 years ago. But to Alex Hormozy's point, anybody can build a website. It's easy. The problem is the management, the content, the support, all those things, all those little niggling details. And so Manana Nomas comes in at an enterprise level, and we convert people from very expensive learning platforms into a very budget-minded WordPress presentation that runs any kind of learning content that they have, still gives reporting, and surrounds the learning content with a functional content management system where they can add whatever they want. You want to put blog posts in, or white papers, or marketing pages, or anything else around your learning content, we can totally do that. Newsflash, they weren't able to do that with their old overpriced learning platforms. And so we're seeing a lot of people come to us from that perspective, okay? There's a new category that's coming out, okay? So I talked about small business and startup. I talked about enterprise. I'm going to talk to you about a new category that I'm starting to see right now. That is people that got excited about AI. That is people that started to dive in with AI 2 years ago. That's people that said, oh, look what I can do with ChatGPT. Isn't this amazing? Oh, look, I can do images now. Oh, look, this new thing came out. I can do video. Hey, I can do this audio thing. But what happened? Every one of those platforms was forked. I'm not saying they're direct copies, but they were forked into other tools, right? So now there's 10 different tools that are common, right? There's more than that, but there's 10 different tools that are common for image generation. There's 10 or 15 different tools that are common for video generation. There's, 25, 30 different tools for image generation. Nobody can be an expert on all these things and still run another functional business. So what I'm seeing firsthand, and it's whether people have AI fatigue or whether they chose to stay ignorant on AI purposefully. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. If you know what you need to do with your energy, if you are a focused business person, you need to focus on where your return is coming from. And if doinking around with AI isn't giving you a return, move on. Move on. Hire somebody that does. And that's what we're seeing with this new category. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, even with the nonsense going on in WordPress. I mean, even again this week, I can't believe we went through the WordPress WP engine thing over the last 2 years. And right when it looked like things were calming down and they were going to go to a quiet room and figure things out and come out and kind of like secretly move on, like there was kind of that hope that that might happen. Uh, it, pardon me. They end up fighting again. I told you I'm sick. I'm sorry. Um, they end up fighting again. And so everybody's going at it. And all the big names in the space are, tossing little grenades over to each other. You're a jerk, you're a jerk, you're a jerk, you're a jerk. You know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We see the minority, we see the loud minority of voices arguing about the intricacies or the interrelationships of WordPress as a community. We see that as an agency. We see that as a podcast person. I see that. But does it matter in the scale of things? No, none of it matters in the scale of things. As an agency owner, my responsibility is to focus on my team, focus on my clients, and focus on my family. And here's my message of hope this week for WordPress, even though it sounds like I have no hope left in my voice. The message of hope is this. I actually am predicting a surge in WordPress in the next 12 to 18 months because people like Alex Hormozy are telling people that, AI and SaaS platforms are easy and anybody can build a website. And what happens is people get in, and because someone else said it was easy, they start to make assumptions. Oh, I want to have an appointment scheduler. I want to have a Zoom integration. I want to work with Google Meet. I want to be able to grow my email list. How come my website doesn't send emails to a list? How come? They start asking questions. Where do those questions get answered? They get answered in WordPress. That's what I'm talking about. So now we're going to have experts like myself, like Toby Crines, like Jeff, right? Jeff Chandler. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to talk about. We're going to have experts in that space. I believe it's Tessa. Got Mark Zemansky. Mark Zemansky's he's still a little polluted on the AI side, I think. But not only that, if you are hooked on AI, the new version of WordPress is going to allow you to plug AI directly into the website as a developer. So if you're hooked on AI, I got great news. WordPress connects. If you're not hooked on AI, I got great news. There's a ton of skilled experts out there that can build what you want. I was thinking about the messaging that I'm trying to put together for this video that I'm going to be making for Lifter LMS about using Etch as the page builder. And the message is, of course, that Lifter LMS is awesome. Lifter LMS works in WordPress. Lifter LMS can be adapted to work with any page builder, theme, all these things. And so my task is to kind of show how awesome I think Etch is, but also how awesome and I don't want to say easy, but how flexible Etch will be in working with Lifter LMS. You see, a lot of people that get Lifter LMS, it works and it's functional and it's great. But then someone comes along and says, I want to change the look of the dashboard page. I want to change the look of the course catalog, the membership catalog, the checkout page. In my heart of hearts, none of that makes sense. Just for the record, out of the box works great. Your marketing material and the copy on your website is going to have people make a decision to buy your product. And once they make that decision to buy your product and they buy the product, who cares what the course and lesson page looks like? I mean, I'm not saying I want it to look sloppy and crappy, but realistically, does it need to be highly designed and styled? My answer is no. But Web developers, customers out there building e-learning platforms, they don't care about that part of my opinion. What they want to know is, but if I want to change the dashboard, if I want to change the catalog, if I want to change the payment page or the login page, how do I do that? And the good news is this: Etch gives you full control over CSS, HTML, JavaScript, short code management. All of it is there. It's a little more intricate than what most users are used to, but it's going to answer that question that a lot of people come to the table with. So I'm pretty excited to do that. Now, Alex Hormozy and others like him, I don't want to just pick on Alex. They say anybody can build a website. It's easy. It's not easy. Folks, I've been doing this for 20 years, more than 20 years now. It's not easy. It takes know-how, it takes familiarity. It's like what I said earlier about building an engine. If I watch YouTube and I say, "Oh wow, they're doing an engine swap on that old Volkswagen Beetle and they're dropping in a V8. That looks cool. Hey, we should buy a Volkswagen. You know what? There's a couple in our neighborhood that are like $2,500 and we can buy a Crate 350 motor for $2,000. Man, for $4,500, we could have a kick-ass hot rod." Do you see how unrealistic that is? That's not realistic at all. Now, I happen to know how to work on things. So that example is like, hey, go to an expert, right? What do I need to do? I need to weld up some engine mounts and an engine cradle and shorten a drive shaft and do these things so that I can execute what I just saw. You see a shortened version on YouTube. You don't see the 400 hours of labor it took behind the scenes to make it look easy for YouTube. That's the deal with what we're seeing in WordPress right now. There's so many options. And if you throw AI into the mix, there's so many options. And I see a surge in WordPress coming because people will on purpose disconnect. They'll say, you know what? It's worth paying somebody $5, $7, $10,000 to just set this up so I don't have to deal with it. And when I say set that up, we're talking a marketing website with a CRM, with a learning management system, with a payment gateway so it can do e-commerce, and a Zoom integration so you can do live meetings right from your website. That's amazing stuff. Now, to Alex Hormozy's point, is it easy? For most people, it is not. For most people, it is not. That's why you seek an expert. And that's why I forecast. I think there's going to be a growth in WordPress because of this. The people that are hooked on AI are going to be able to plug into AI and use it. And the people that aren't hooked on AI are going to be thankful that they don't have to hook into AI to use it. And the people that are kind of tired of this nonstop scaling, nonstop growth, and the politics involved with AI. I mean, the stuff they're saying about Sam Altman and stealing content and selling it back to the people, the stuff that's online right now about that is highly negative, and that weighs on people. So I think it's going to drive people back to a more, I hate to say like mechanical, not automatic. It's going to take people to a more tactile. That's the word. Take people to a more tactile experience. So whether people want to build in WordPress on their own and then hire experts for advice and tutoring, like what we do at Mañana No Mas with people, we make them, screen share tutorials right with them, give them the recordings so they have them forever. We do that. We do full website builds. We integrate AI into projects for people if they have an open, AI account that they can connect. If they have an API that they're paying for and they want to connect to a tool and leverage AI, we can certainly do that for them. And the options are all ours right now. And when you look at the amount of space on the internet that WordPress currently occupies, the idea that it would just go away because someone said Lovable was easy, well, that doesn't exactly make sense, does it? Like I said, our customer that went to Lovable, website looks great. I have no idea what their sales are going to look like in 6 months. I have no idea what's going to happen when updates are required and they don't know how to take care of updates. I don't know what's going to happen when AI changes some code, or there's some changes in the abstractions for CSS, or things stop working correctly. I have no idea what's going to happen for those people. Chances are they'll run back to WordPress because it's been stable and reliable for over 20 years, and it does almost half the internet. Now, something I just want to share with you guys is if we take a look at this, this was built completely in Etch. So this is the Mañana No Mas website. Talks to you here about what we do. We have the Easy Button program, website as a subscription, enterprise development. We've got YouTube, Facebook, and X plugged directly into the website. We've got a ton of blog posts. And if you take a look at these blog posts, I mean, they're informative. They're going to give you information about how AI works, or methodologies on growing your business, the plugins that we use to build the sites that we build for our customers, different, pardon me, different interviews that we've had, right, with the Mañana No Mas podcast. All of that's here. And all of this was built with Etch. And that's why the website works fairly quickly, even on a modest hosting package. And that's what we focus on at Mañana No Mas. We focus on being able to offer people amazing value for the budget that they require to be in. Pardon me. Could I pay some extra for some hosting, power, and have my website be a little bit faster? Yeah, I could. Do I need to? No. And that's what I talk about with my clients. What is your use case? What is your actual need? And how can we fit you best? Folks, I'm projecting that we're going to get busier. I'm projecting that all of us agency types, especially the ones that make content, are going to see an influx of questions, an influx of leads over the next 12 to 18 months. How we treat those leads is going to determine how well we grow. If you are an open book and a library and you just start giving out free advice all the time, like I have a habit of doing, chances are people are going to try to do it on their own. They're going to get frustrated and they're going to go somewhere else, right? They're going to say, well, Kurt said it would be easy to do with WordPress because I saw his tutorial, and I'm just going to activate this tool and activate that tool, and then I'm going to integrate them. And then if they do that, but they miss a step, or they don't set it up correctly as far as like interactions with their user base, they won't get the results that they are expecting. And they'll assume, hey, they got bad advice, or the platform doesn't work as well as we said it would. That's the important part. We as experts, and I'm talking to other agencies right now, we as other agencies, we need to hold the banner high that, yeah, I can share some information with you, but you're going to be a lot better off if you just hire a professional to knock this out. And I think that's what we need to start really focusing on, is our expertise and our professionalism and what we bring to the table. When people like Alex Hormozy and people like him jump online and are very popular and say, anybody can build a website, page builders are easy. When people say that and it gets believed and it gets acted upon, that causes a gap in understanding. And we need to, as agency owners, do our best to try and clear that out of there. Folks, if you're the praying type, pray for me. I hope I feel better in the next day or two. That's it for me today. It's all I can stand. My voice is really starting to go away. Have yourself a wonderful day. Enjoy the hump day. In case you're wondering, yes, I do have a brisket on the smoker today. It's going to be over 70 degrees in Kansas. So just because I'm sick doesn't mean we're not going to eat beef. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you another time. Bye-bye.